to the big house, home of the Michigan Wolverines. As we'll see the number 5 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the 22nd ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Wolverines will boot it away to start the game. Coming out with it, it's Tate. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he had just taken the touchback. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Slithers into space. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Back to throw. It's Sayin. Here's the pressure. They get him up rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20.
What a great play. Winning one-on-one, getting home and getting a sack, and that kind of effort is going to get the big house fired up. These 100,000-plus Michigan Wolverine fans are on their feet screaming because of that dominant play right there coming from their D-line.
Still running at the 40. And he gets it done on third down. They move the chains, and they'll mark it at the 44.
And the defensive coordinator is irate on the sideline. Third and long, it's a short throw. You've got to be able to rally, make a tackle, and force the punter onto the field. They let him get loose, break some tackles, and with the first, the offense stays on the field.
Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
A lot of times on second down, you're thinking pass, especially second, maybe in a little bit long. Really good job by the offense, committing to the running game, getting the first down really easily.
Wants to throw on first down. Bring in the heat. It's complete. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17. The Buckeyes will have it first and 10. From the red zone, looking for a space. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
This crowd rising up, sensing that its defense needs some help. To the air, it's Sayin. This time he's got his man. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
And I think a lot of people probably expected to see that, right? They're playing on the road, and you know this is going to be a hostile environment, but they've got the better players, and we've seen that before. And there was no hesitation. Opening drive, they go right down the field, they score a touchdown, and they made a statement.
There's so many great rivalries in college football, guys, but I think this one, because of the disdain and the excellence, sort of rises to the top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are great rivalries scattered all around this country. In-state rivalries, interconference rivalries, great history, great pageantry. But I think what makes Ohio State versus Michigan unique is the fact that more often than not, these are two teams competing for national championships at the end of the year, and this game really does determine the national landscape.
And 19 national championships between the two teams. Late in the year, it always mattered. You go back to 2006, #1 versus #2. So always disdain, always hate. Don't even call each other by their names. Like, this rivalry means so much to college football.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Marshall. There he goes. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
And that's why, if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
It's 1st and 10. They've moved it to the 41. From the gun, running back gets the give.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. And they can't connect, but the flag flies, and I think this is going to be pass interference.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Off-play action on 1st down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. To the air, it's Underwood. Looking to scramble. Outside the pocket, lets it go. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
You know, if you're going to defend the slant route, you've got to be physical near the line of scrimmage. You saw that on defense there.
A little less room to work with now as the ball's at the 28, and it's 3rd and long. Throwing right. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
Really nice 3rd down sub-defense there that time. It's 3rd and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, now forcing the incompletion, setting up 4th.
And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. That'll bring him to within 4.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
Stopped at the 26, brought it out of the end zone, picked up an extra yard. They'll get this drive started from their own 26. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Grabbed in the middle, it's Smith. And they make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. And we've come to the end of the 1st as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. through the years.
And you just think about guys that just look great in their youth. Big, strong, Aiden Hutchinson, Ajabo, a lot of these guys in the recent history, just they know.
Breaks into the open. And he earns a first down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lift.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback finding his open receiver on third down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is third down conversion percentage. If you're a great third down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill third down so much in practice.
Wants to throw. It's Sayin. Caught over the middle. It's Smith. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. The Buckeyes are marching down the field. Motion from the wide receiver. To the air on first down. He unleashes a long one. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Quarterback on the move, still looking. On the move, he fires. He's got an open man. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it first and goal.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half. And the Buckeyes will try to punch it in on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And I like the running back's vision. He sees the hole, explodes through it. He knows where the goal line is, gets in the end zone, gets 6.
And the extra point makes it 14-3. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Fielded in the end zone, it's Simpson. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. They'll give it to the back. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
And after a successful run like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot, because even if it's incomplete now on second, you only have a short amount of yards to go here on third.
And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. And the Wolverines come to the line needing just inches for the first down. Looking downfield, it's Underwood. Caught near the sticks, it's Marshall. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And this is why checkdowns are so big. There's a lot of quarterbacks in these types of situations on third down. They just want to make the home run, highlight-type throw. But a nice job being poised and making a good decision, checking it down to the running back here to help your offense out.
Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. Wants to go up top on first down. Moving out of the pocket. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. These two first squared off in 1897, and this rivalry is almost like a history of the sport itself.
So much history, so much tradition. I mean, I can go back to 2006 when they were 1-2 in the country. You know, like, these games really matter. The uniforms are clean. The athletes are flowing. There's tons of athletes all over the place. This is always a huge showdown.
You think about some of the great coaches that have graced the sidelines in this rivalry. Bo Schembechler at Michigan and Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And it's amazing, in a conference full of trophy games, maybe the greatest rivalry doesn't even have one. Well, no real mystery there. And I think this coaching staff has a lot of confidence in their offensive line to get the push needed to give that back just a big enough crease to fall forward and get the first.
And it's so hard.
And that ball is intercepted at the goal line.
A lot of quarterbacks have so much confidence that they can fit the ball in tight windows. How about the defensive player right here making an unbelievable interception, forcing the turnover, big play, big momentum swing.
The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. And the roar is reverberating throughout this stadium as the defense has them pinned deep. Dropping back, it's Sayin. Got the back over the middle. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. The Buckeyes come to the line in the hurry-up. Looking to throw on first down. Throws for the tight end. And it's incomplete, deflected, knocked away by the D.
The linebacker's showing off a little bit of athletic ability, playing some man coverage. A lot of times those guys don't play this all the time, so you see them kind of get nervous and a lot of times get that pass interference or get a little bit handsy. Really nice job seeing the football, breaking on it, and swatting it to the ground.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection this time. He uncorks one deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Hey, listen, quarterback didn't get the completion on that throw, but that doesn't mean you can't try again. Trust in your playmakers outside to push the field and stretch it vertically and make a play for you. It won't surprise me to see this QB take more shots as this game goes on.
Unloads to the wideout. He's missed 3 in a row now with that last incompletion.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They'd given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. Third down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
3 straight incompletions, and undaunted, they'll go for it on 4th and 10. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Complete out of the backfield. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. The Buckeyes have it with a 1st and 10. Back to pass, it's Sayin. Catch in the middle, it's Tate. And he's brought down after a nice game. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the tight end. Complete to the right. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling. The magic bean is spinning out of control. Already over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, they're being aggressive offensively, throwing the football, trying to take advantage of this defense on the back end. They've got their quarterback right now in a groove.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they make the play to stop the scoring opportunity just before the end of the half.
And that's just excellent coverage. Cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
Waning seconds of the first half. Let's see how they handle it. Quarterback moving. Takes a shot as he lets it go. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. And he's dragged down after the interception, and that's how we'll close out the first half. And the Buckeyes will kick it away to start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here comes the Michigan offense. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments. They've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think if any of you are this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
Scanning the field, it's Underwood. Still looking, on the move. Going to try to get it himself. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and slide. Great job, nice athleticism, good decision to take off scrambling and help his offense, but you really are seeing his inexperience shine through here in this game.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
He'll take the deep shot. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
We've seen this offense click and hum, and it's not clicking, and something's a little bit off. And I like the deep shot down the field. At least it wasn't an interception, but they got to find a way in this O to manufacture some first downs and some passing yards, because everything's been difficult today.
If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a third down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. Throws to the wideout. Got a man in the middle. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Grab near the marker. It's Morgan. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. And how about this Buckeye defense? This is not all flash and score around here these days.
And when you've seen Ohio State really be great and make those playoff runs, you always pick out those big defensive linemen that can get their hands on the quarterback and get him on the ground like they did right here.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
Offense changing the play. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. Finds his man. It's Klein. He'll come through on 3rd downs. He's got enough, and they'll mark it at the 23.
The offense really struggled in the first half of this game, so it was important coming out of halftime. They were able to generate some momentum and get some rhythm offensively. And right now, they look like they have it on this drive. Great news to see the quarterback make that last throw there to pick up the first down. They need him to play great in the second half.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
On the run, fires downfield. He's open on the right. He goes out of bounds, but there is a flag on the field. Let's see what this one's about. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Wolverines. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
They'll try to get the 2-point conversion here and make it a 3-point game. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone.
I love the coverage by the defense right here. Great job getting up in their space. Nothing easy down here for a 2-point conversion. The interception was just great.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Tate. He's out of bounds at the 24, probably looking for a little more on that return, and that's where his offense will go to work. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. They'll go to the ground. Really nice job to squirt his way up to the 31-yard line.
Well, we're not quite in the fourth quarter yet. We're almost there, but you're seeing the attitude shift now for this offense. They've got the lead, so they've got to be able to run the football. You're going to see a lot more of that, I think, as this game keeps going on. They're trying to wear this defense down when the game is almost over.
The play-action fake. Looking to the big tight end. And the timing just a hair off.
But how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
Back to throw, it's Sayed. Grab near the marker, it's Smith. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I...
Lot of room to the right. Touchdown, Buckeyes. He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. Lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Wants to throw on first down. And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
Tell you what, when you come out of your own end zone, you know, in the shadow of your own end zone, a lot of bad things can happen. You want to get a few first downs, get some space, so if you punt after that point, you can pin them a little bit deep. This is the...
And with the pressure on him, the quarterback goes down, and we've played 3 quarters here. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a 1st down.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in the game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. And if they can find the end zone here, that might be all she wrote. 1st and goal. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Touchdown, Ohio State. The offense cashing it in on that drive. Ohio State is dotting Michigan's eye as the Buckeyes are firmly in control.
And Ohio State, you know, they've let a few get away from their rival in Michigan, and they're trying to get that back. So they came into this one with a chip on their shoulder. They're not always used to being in that position when they play against Michigan. But, David, in the 2nd half here, it's all Buckeyes.
Yeah, and you know you got to be physical. When you play the Wolverines, you know the type of brand that they play. Ohio State has matched that physicality. They have been ready. They were ready for the game, and they've handled business.
Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. The Wolverines want to pick up the tempo.
Here's the deal. You're down 3 possessions. You know, it doesn't feel likely they're going to come back and win, but we've seen crazier stuff happen in college football.
Oh, it's a fumble. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes. Turning on the Jets. Touchdown, Buckeyes. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
You practice these moments as a defense, but you never know when they're going to come to fruition. But how about it? The scoop, the ball's on the turf. They scoop it up. They take it to the house. The defense takes care of business and said, offense, we don't need you. We'll put points on the board.
On to attempt the try.
The kicker on for the extra point.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. The scoop and score. What a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Simpson. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week.
It's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to throw, it's Underwood. Quarterback floating away from pressure. Open space at the 25. Gets him on the ground at the 31, but a nice pickup of 15 yards there.
And they're going to need a lot more of this to get back in this football game. They're trailing. They're trying to make plays. I like the decision-making of the young man there. Don't force the football. We already got to make big plays, and the defense knows it too. Nice job pulling it down, scrambling, getting the first down. Now you got to keep it going.
They'll go up top on 2nd and short. Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field. Because
he'll loft one deep down the left side. Makes the grab inside the 30. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total. A lot of glorious days in the history of the Buckeyes, and this might put this guy right at the top of the list for a single game.
And that list of names is incredible. Like, we could go down the list of so many guys that have been such great playmakers, so dynamic. So to think about putting yourself in that category, we're going to be talking about winning trophies and this guy being an All-American by season's end.
He'll bring it out. It's Simpson. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
Unloads to the wideout. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he has had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate.
He's looking deep. And he's got it inside the 35. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. And, Jesse, there's a huge mountain to climb here, but you might as well start with a chunk play.
Well, you got to start somewhere, Reese. It's been tough going for this offense all game long. They find themselves in a hole, but I love the aggressive nature. Keep taking shots. Keep trying to claw your way back into this one.
And the Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs. Here comes the heat. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. Looking for a man. It's Underwood. Throws for the tight end. Complete downfield. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. The Wolverines want to crank the tempo. Wants to go up top. Buys a little time. It's a fumble. And the fumble goes out of bounds. They'll maintain possession, actually picked up yardage on the play. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look.
And you start to get that offense going and start having success, you got to make sure when you get closer to the scoring range, I take care of that football. If you don't, coach is going to go, you on the sideline, you in the game.
So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
3rd and goal, where defensive coordinators have to make a stand. And he's got it in the end zone for a touchdown. It won't matter much in the outcome, but a little extra stat padding is nice.
And Nice pitch, nice catch. And listen, maybe this helps next game, right? Like we're trying to find a rhythm, find something that works, find somebody to go to. And this offense is struggling. You're down by 1,000, but I like that they continue to fight.
My philosophy on going for 2 is only when you have to. Trying to pound it in. Strong, firm tackle.
Yeah, and the defense comes up with the stop, and you just wonder, the analytics world and all that stuff, that whatever the card says to do, you're supposed to do. I wonder if they were listening to that card.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Looking for those open spaces and opportunity. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll move the tight end. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. Oh, he's got some space. Out to the 35-yard line and a little extra breathing room with that 15-yard pickup. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They'll ride the hot hand. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And it looks as if the offense will just take...